Welcome back, algebra students. We're going to be looking at another problem from our midterm. We're going to be focusing on this problem right here. This problem, we ran into a similar one into our midterm, and oh my goodness, was it difficult to understand. So I'm going to be breaking down one of these problems for you, and you're going to be trying out the next one on your own, okay? So we're going to be looking at this problem. This problem says, function D gives the distance of a boat from the dock t seconds after leaving the dock. The distance is measured in meters. Okay, so that just gives us information about the graph. We really don't need much information since we're not calculating anything. We're not looking for anything specific. We're just trying to see, we're trying to select the appropriate domain and range for the graph. So we're just looking at the domain and range. So class, let's see. What variables do I use for my domain? What variables do I use for my domain? Or sorry, what variables? It's just one variable. So for the domain, I hope you probably write this down because this is going to be very important. It's going to help you out break down the domain and the range. So the domain is the x-axis. So the numbers in the x-axis. The domain is the x-axis, all right? The range is the numbers on the y-axis. However, sometimes these numbers are going to be more specific than what's given to us in our x. Whoops, sorry, I messed up the arrow. Sometimes the range and the domain is going to be different to what is given to us in our x and what's given to us in our y. Let me show you. So basically, if I understand what I said right now, it says that domain is the x-axis. So I would just write down, oh, the domain is 0 to 180. But that may not always be the case. Let's see what I mean. So check this out. So we're talking about, so the x-axis means time in seconds. So we're looking at time, right? So the domain is whole numbers 0 to 180. So that means that a whole number is basically numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to a million, a billion, and it keeps going forever and ever. So it's only those numbers. So like these are whole numbers. Let me see if I can write it out on the side. So whole numbers. Whole numbers are like 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5, etc. The numbers keep going, right? Now, all numbers, so there's a big difference between whole numbers and all numbers. So all numbers refers to like 0, comma 0 0.01, 0.02, and then it gets bigger. You can even have fractions, 1/4, and then you can have 0.9, etc. Like you can have numbers that are smaller than whole numbers. However, you also have whole numbers within this. So this, you can also include 1 and 2. Whoops. Let me move this a little bit to the side. You can include numbers like 1, 2, 3, and etc. It keeps going forever as well. So when you hear the word or the phrase all numbers, that's including decimals, fractions, anything in between 1 and 2, or anything between 0 and 1, that is part of all numbers. Whole numbers just refers to everything that is a whole. So it's not a decimal and it's not a fraction. Remember that, okay? So when we record time, is time just whole numbers? So what I'm saying, does it jump from 1 second to 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and it keeps going? Or can we stop at half a second? Have you ever heard that phrase? Half a second, 1,000 of a second. Like you can break down a second into different parts, right? So since time can be broken down into smaller pieces, then we're going to be looking at a response that has all numbers. But let's check this out. Let's say our time runs from 0 to 1, about 180. Let's say 180. So our domain is all numbers 0 to 180. Okay, perfect. So this one has 0 numbers to 180, sorry. And then this one has all numbers 0 to 60, but that is not true. So we can cross this one out. So and we can cross out the whole numbers one as well, because we already know we're not dealing with whole numbers. So automatically we know that the answer choice is the last one. However, let's just verify with the range. Let's verify with the range. What about the range? Well, the range is in distance of meters. So the range is all numbers 0 to 60. How do I know it's 0 to 60? Well, because my lowest point is at 0 and my highest point is at 60. So I know that my range is from 0 to 60. However, I have a question. Can I break down a meter into smaller pieces? So if I have a meter, so let's say a meter is this big, and then 2 meters would be like this big. I don't know if you can see it in the cameras. So are there numbers in between the meters that I'm counting? Yes, the answer is yes. So a smaller unit of meters would be centimeters. Centimeters make up a meter, right? So that means that we're looking at things in between meters as well. So it is also on numbers 0 to 60. Hopefully I didn't confuse you. If I did, I'm so sorry for confusing you. Talk to me in person. You have me there in the room, and let me know that you're confused so I can help you out and unconfuse you, okay? See you in the next one. Give the next problem a shot, okay? Thank you. Bye.